Shalom. What's kosher and what's not? I have another video on Jewu called Kosher 101. Tell you a story. Once somebody called me and said they're newly married and their husband had cooked something and they weren't sure if he had cooked something that was treif, not kosher. So she mentioned some fish that I had never heard of, so I pulled out my kosher book and I said, oh, it's not on this list. She said, is that good or bad? I said, that's bad because this is the fish that's kosher list. I said, let me check the other list, and I looked. Sure enough, that fish was on the other list. She goes, oh no, because he had just treifed up their pots, which you can always kosher. Anyway, so I'm going to give you a list of what's kosher. Now, remember that if it's a mammal, it needs to be slaughtered properly, or a fowl, a bird. And there are other rules about. So the best thing is to make sure it comes from a kosher butcher, or there's a kosher sign on it. You know, nowadays a lot of department stores in Jewish areas have kosher labels on their food. But in any case, the fowl that's prohibited, the birds, bats, cuckoos, eagles, hawks, herons, kites, ostrich, owl, pelican, stork, swan, and vultures, all forbidden. And some of these are listed by name in the Torah. Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14 you can check. What's permitted, capons, chickens, doves, ducks, geese, pigeons, and turkeys, but they have to be slaughtered properly. Now in terms of fish and seafood, these are forbidden. There's no slaughtering here, just you can't eat them. Catfish, eels, porpoise, shark, whales, clams, crabs, frogs, lobsters, octopus, oyster, scallop, shrimp, and snail. Note, not kosher under any conditions. What's permitted? Anchovies, bluefish, butterfish, carp, cod, flounder, fluke, haddock, halibut, herring, mackerel, pike, red snapper, porgy, salmon, sardine, sea bass, shad, smelt, sole, trout, tuna, weak fish, whitefish, and gefilte fish, although you don't catch gefilte fish. Now, meat, if the animal chews its cud and have split hooves, it's kosher. Cattle, sheep, goats, deer, but not horses, donkeys, camels, or pigs. And they have to be slaughtered properly, and the blood has to be drained, according to the rules of shechita. Then eggs from non-kosher birds are not kosher, and eggs with blood spots are not kosher. So things to remember. Kashrut refers to the food is proper. It can be eaten. You have to separate the meat and the milk. Liver has to be kosher differently, not just soaked in salt. It has to be broiled. And there's lots of new fish on the market today. If you're unsure, consult your rabbi. Now, what are some of the key words and phrases to know? Asur means like a sewer. Asur means it's prohibited. Mutar means it's permitted. Shechita is the ritual process of slaughter. Shochet is the guy who does it, and treif means it's unfit. So some more on kosher.